Hello, beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. Woo! Uh-huh. So yeah, Starlight is out here. Are you afraid? So yeah, Starlight is out here in the heart of nature out here and woo. Anyway, I hope you're getting out in nature like Starlight is, and if you are new to my YouTube channel, you could give this video a thumbs up and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below, beep, 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 and you could share my videos with your family, your friends, some birds, and some alligators. Yes, you could share my videos with some alligators. Plus, you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. And a thank you to all of you who have been loving and supporting Starlight. And thank you. Starlight made it to 1,000 hours watched on my YouTube channel. Woo! Yes. I couldn't do this without you. So I appreciate all of you that have been loving and supporting Starlight by liking my videos, subscribing to my YouTube channel, and watching my videos, of course. So today is are you afraid? What holds you back? What is your fears? And right on this little boardwalk here, and there's alligators out here somewhere. So that I figured, you know what, this is so beautiful. I got to bring you with me. Look at how beautiful this is. And I've been really super close. I've been like a foot away from an alligator before, but this is actually higher up of a boardwalk than where I went a long time ago in Florida somewhere, I believe. So yeah, what kind of fears are holding you back? You know, that is the question, is what are you afraid of? Are you afraid, to face your fears? So it's really important is to learn to let go of that fear. Like I do the I am affirmations, and it's so powerful to do that. Is I am letting go of fear. I am letting go of fear. I am letting go of fear. I am facing my fears, and don't run away from them, but face them. So right now, I just got to keep my eye out here because, we're facing our fears here by being on top of here, because I've actually have seen alligators before where the park closed. So this is really a short walk. It's probably who knows, maybe the boardwalk is not good. So I'm just gonna go up here anyway, so park is closed. So we're not gonna go through there. Anyway, this is a shorter video than I thought. Yes, it's so important in life to face your fears. If there's something that you're afraid of, it's better to face your fear, and you can ask God for help, to be like, God, please help me. Isn't that a beautiful picture right there? That is sweet. So, God, please help me to face my fears. Tell God about your problems. Tell God that, what are you afraid of? Talk to God about it. Talk to God and say, God, I'm afraid of this. Please help me to let that fear go. Help me to be strong. Help me to be brave. Help me be courageous, and you can do this. I'll tell you what, the stuff that I have done on this journey, there's men that would be shitting their freaking pants. And I'm a female, and I've had some scary, scary things that's happened. But you know what? It's making me stronger. It's helping me, to take back my power, and that's what it takes. What's holding you back? Are you afraid to use your voice? Are you afraid to go hiking like Starlight is? I mean, imagine this, there's alligators somewhere out here. Would you walk on here knowing that there is alligators below? So these are things that you can do, is to face your fears and pray. I have to pray. Look at this. There's pictures of alligators here. I wasn't kidding. So there are alligators. So I'm not kidding when I say there's alligators out here. So yeah, this is, how about afraid to speak up? You got something going on in your mind. You got people running over top of you, and they always say what they want to say, but you're not you haven't been able to get the courage enough to speak up and say what's on your heart and mind. How about some of you out there that have seen some things out in the world, and you've experienced things, and you want to tell other people, but you're afraid to speak up and you're afraid to get your voice out. We need to hear your story. We need to know, the truth of what happened, because other people might have gone through something like you have, and they really need to know so they can, it will help other people, to understand that they're not the only ones that went through something like that. Maybe nobody believes them, but by you using your voice and letting people know that yes, this actually happened. I've been on YouTube for more a couple of years right now, because a little bit more than a couple of years, because I started in March and now it's October of 2005. So as I've grown on my YouTube channel, you know what? Now I don't hold back. It's gotten easier. It wasn't like that in the first place. My faith has grown. My voice, I tell people I am a voice for the voiceless. So, but that means you gotta face your fears to be able to do that. I have confidence where I can speak to people. I can talk to strangers at any given moment. And you might be afraid. Are you afraid of different kinds of people out in the world? Are you afraid? Are you living in fear? And it's so important that you face these fears. And because the more you fear, the more stuff you're going to have that you're going to have to face. That's why it's better to just face your fears. Just like having, the stories, that we've seen. Even like, I think it's called, I don't know how many of you watched this Christmas movie, The Christmas Story. And there was this boy, that movie was so funny. I'm not a Christmas person, but it's about the little boy. He goes to school, and he's got a bully, and he actually punched him in the eye, in his eyeglasses, and they broke. And he was so afraid all the time, So there's a lot of bullying stories, of kids when they go to school. They got some kind of bully, and you know what? Parents might say this or that, but you really got to face those fears. Because then if you show them that, hey, you can't mess with me anymore, then they'll back off. But the more you are afraid of those things and you don't face it face it, is that you're not getting rid of the problem. It's going to keep on coming back up. So it's so important to face your fears no matter what they are. And you can ask God for his strength, ask God to, help you to break that fear so you're able to face it, because it's going to really help you to be stronger, and you'll be amazed. And then, just like a video game, like a video game, it has different stages and stuff like that. And, in the beginning, you'll get done with game one. And now, at the end of the video game, there's going to be some kind of monster or something that you got to fight. And then, it's scary, right? When you're playing a video game. And my son had this dinosaur video game. Oh, I'll tell you what. Starlight, that video game, I'd actually literally jumped out of my skin because it was these dinosaurs, and there was mountains all over. And you can try to shoot the dinosaurs, and then they had mountains that you can climb up on, and those dinosaurs get really close to you, but you jump on the mountain and then you're safe from the dinosaur eating you. And it's not a pretty scene, when those dinosaurs grab a hold of you, because of course you're going to see some blood on their video game. But like a video game, it's the same thing with life. You're going to have new challenges all the time. So face those fears. So then, because you're only going to have other things that are going to be coming up, but you don't want to keep on repeating the same fear over and over again, because you want to grow. It's so important that you grow. So let love guide you, not fear. Whatever it is that you fear, there's so many fears out there. Fear of swimming, fear of going to hiking, fear of bugs, fear of animals, fear to ask a guy out, fear to ask a girl out, afraid to go get that job, afraid to go get I know people that They never got the license because they feared getting behind the wheel. They feared actually getting out there and doing it. You know, fear of riding a bike, you know, so many fears out there. So you, in order to enjoy those things in life, you got to face it, you know. A relationship, imagine that you never ask a girl out or a guy out and then you become single the rest of your life, you know. So it's so wise to face your fears, and we make it worse on ourselves, you know. We make the fear even much bigger. So anyway, I love you so much. I really hope you get a lot of help from this video. And face your fear, you know. Don't put it off. Say, you know what? I've been wanting to do something. And instead of having all these excuses why you can't face your fear, is you say, you know what? Today's the day. You know, you could have like a family member that's always rubbing shit in your face. And then you're like, you always bite your tongue. You always bite your tongue. You always bite your tongue. You always, you got this fear of ever opening up and saying exactly what's on your mind. You know, you got to break free. You know, God will reward you when you face your fears and you let go and you're like, you know what? You'll feel a whole lot better about yourself when you finally face that person and you really tell them exactly how you feel and you don't hold back. And when you get done, you'd be amazed. You'd be amazed how this goes, you know. That fear that you create in your mind thinking how bad it is, it's really your imagination. You're creating how, you know, this is a stimulation. It's not even real. You know, it's like we're in a video game, like a movie. So, you know, you are making it much, much bigger than what it really is. You're creating it much, much bigger than really what it is. And when you face it, you're like, oh, man, you know, now that I did it, you know, it doesn't feel so bad anymore. Now I can, whew, I can breathe. I'm like, wow, you know, and you're so, you know, like, now you feel amazing, don't you? Like Starlight made a video a while back as jumping off a cliff. That was a fear I had when I was 16 years old. I felt amazing. You know, the only thing is I wish I had more time that day to be able to jump more off of that, you know, that cliff there, you know. So I had other things that I had to do. I had to get my meal ready for that night. You know, that is very important. So you'll feel so much better. And then later on it's going to be something else. Yeah, it's going to be something else, but you know, you're building up courageous energy, you know, and bravery inside of your being. You're taking your power back when you face these things, and you don't let people, you know, no, I'm not going to, you know, even if it's your dad or your mom, speak up, let them know, you know, instead of having them, because you'll feel a whole lot better, you know. It will feel so great to just put somebody in their place for once instead of having them run over top of you and always having you to be afraid of, you know, using your voice. So I love you so much, and you could give this video a thumbs up. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could share my videos with your family, your friends, a cat, a dog. Plus, you can also check this out on Instagram. You can check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Not only that, if you want to send love to Starlight, you can. I will have my Cash App information here, and if you don't have Cash App, you can easily download it, you know, on your phone or your computer or wherever, so you can send Starlight some love. I would really appreciate it, and thank you for those who have. I really appreciate you. And also, let me say a big, huge thank you to all of you who've been here loving and supporting Starlight. And I finally, yes, thank you for all of you. I finally got 1,000 hours of view time on my YouTube channel. Yay! I did it! I was so happy this morning when I woke up. You know, that was facing my fears. You know, people that don't believe in you, you got to believe in yourself. And I do have some cheerleaders out there cheering me on. So thank you for inspiring me to do that in the first place. And I love you so much. This is Starlight, and namaste. This is Starlight, love, light, and peace.